Hello again. In this week's video I'm going to talk about the Olympus OMD E-M1 Mark III and its ability to do something called live ND, and really what that is a way to allow you to use a slow shutter speed in bright sunlight. It's very bright sunlight at the moment, usually when I'm out photography with my camera, it's kind of it's difficult to get out early in the morning, and it's sometimes difficult to get out late at night when the light is what they call the golden hour or the blue hour, and you know, it's very it's a very good light for taking photographs, but we're not all able to get out at those times. And so it's often, for me, during the day, in the middle of the day when I'm out with my camera, and the sun is, you know, when it's bright and sunny, it's at its highest, and that means if you want to do any effects like blurring people's motion or blurring motion in any way, it can be tricky. And I'll just put a couple of shots that I took in bright sunlight to illustrate that. I had to be very careful about not overexposing. So the slower your shutter speed in daylight, in bright sunshine, the more prone you are to overexposing. And the way of dealing with that in the past would have been to use things like these filters, these what they call live ND filters. ND stands for neutral density. And what they do is they're kind of dark. As you can see there, they have a dark colour to them, and that sort of is rated at different stops. So this particular one is ND16, and they range from what's this one? This one is an ND8. So what that means is that it blocks light up to so many stops. So ND16 I think might be 5 stops. So they're graduated so that the ND2, for example, lets in more light than ND16. So ND2 would only be one stop of light that's being blocked. So that means your exposure becomes darker, but it also means that it's a bit more difficult to focus on the subject because you've got this actually physically screwed onto the lens. And you also have to make sure that you've got with these particular types of ND filters, there is a filter thread diameter, and you've got to make sure that that is the same as your lens. So you're kind of adding limitations on which lenses you can use ND filters with. You also get with these are fairly cheap, and the problem with cheap ND filters is that they can give a color cast. They can give a color cast to your final image, and it can also be problematic if you've got a sort of smear on the lens that you didn't know about, or it was, you know, something on the lens that on the filter rather, that you didn't know about, and you know, it can really sort of have an adverse effect on your final image. So there are a number of issues with filters. You've also got to carry them around with you as well. You can get can get all sorts of different types of filters. You can get some that are just square that you can slot in, so you don't have the issue about, or not so much of an issue with the filter thread being right. But even so, you've got to do a lot of planning, and it can be a lot to think about, really, and a lot to set up, and you know, changing the filters over and so on. It takes time, you know. So Olympus came up with this wonderful idea of having ND filters built into the camera itself, and I've tried this out, and I'd like to show you a few of the example photographs I've taken with this. what I really enjoyed doing was going into black and white and using it to sort of take sort of scary sort of blurred sort of images of people in crowds, which I thought would work quite well. And so there are a variety of uses for it. I'm still exploring all of it as well. So I wouldn't say I was any kind of master at it, but I can show you how to do it. On this particular camera, the E-M1 Mark III, it has a feature of allowing you 5 stops of live ND filtration. Filtration, is that the right expression? Live ND filtering up to 5 stops. Later models, the OM system models, I think, have increased that, but 5 stops is a good start. That's all I wanted to say. I'll show you how to set that up in the camera menu, but we'll have a look at some images I've taken using that setting. Also, it's worth saying that the later OM system cameras have a CP button, which stands for computational photography, and Live ND is part of that, part of a suite of features that it has grouped together under computational photography. There are some of those things like starry sky autofocus on this model, and live composite on this model as well, which are all part of that that group called computational photography, which is a very exciting grouping of features for the Olympus cameras. And yeah, so well, that's enough of me rambling. Let's have a look at how to set it up on the camera. Okay, so I'm looking at the back of the camera, and this is the super control panel. So to access Live ND, go to the menu, and down on the left hand side, what you want to do is find camera 2 menu, and at the bottom there you can see Live ND shooting, and that's set to off. And then if you hit OK, you can set that to on. And you can also, if I just hit OK again and then go on the right hand side, the right button, you can then see the ND filter number, which is ND2 at the moment, which is 1 stop. And then going right again, you can go all the way up to 5 stops by using ND32. So I was wrong earlier on when I said ND16 might be 5 stops. It's actually 4 stops. But you make a choice by selecting the one you want and then pressing the OK button. And then you can also turn live simulation on as well. So it says here that when it's off, the shutter speed effect, slow shutter speed effect cannot be seen in live view. When it's on, it can be seen, and it might differ from the final image. So I generally tend to have that off, but if you want to sort of see what it might look like with it on, you can do that. People have said it's sometimes not good for composition. I'm not quite sure why you wouldn't want to have a look at what it might look like, but there might be circumstances where you actually don't need to do that. One thing to be aware of, so Live ND shooting is on there, as you can see. If I just go back to the super control panel, at the moment, it will depend on what mode the camera is in. So currently this is set to shutter priority, that you can see there by the S in the corner. If I change that to not to manual, so if I change it to bulb, let's try one of the common ones, which would be let's say program auto. Now if I go into the menu, the same menu, you see Live ND shooting is grayed out. It's not available in that circumstance. So you have to be, I think you have to be in manual mode or shutter priority mode for you to be able to see Live ND shooting. is something to be aware of. If I change now the mode to aperture priority and then go back into the menu, again you see it's not available, and the same will be true if I now go to bulb, set that, and then go up to second menu. Yeah, see, live ND is not available. If I now go back to manual mode, press menu, live ND shooting becomes available again. Okay, so that's how you would set live ND shooting, and that would then work when you fire the shutter button.